So our next subject is gaming. Gaming is our next subject. So D-Day arrived about a week and some change ago, and the PS5s and the Xbox SXX, FX, FXXX,
Series, the Xbox Series consoles, the X model and the S model.
got released. Um, and our own Fallen Marvel bought a PS5. So I
Yes, I did.
personally haven't gotten any systems yet. I've been watching everything going on, but I haven't gotten obviously a new gen because I'm just one of those where I just want to wait, because if there's any bugs, any problems or whatever, I'm gonna wait a little bit.
Hmm.
But Fallen Marvel, you got a PS5, so tell us how you feel about it, and let's talk about gaming.
Well, yeah, I was able to get mine. I was one of the lucky few that was able to pre-order theirs day one, and I picked mine up that morning on the 12th and got everything straightened out. For the most part, as far as performance goes, the thing runs like a dream. Like allowed pretty much all the games that I've played on it so far. They start up almost right away.
Mm,
Um, there's still like a select few games that are still kind of locked at their performance, but at the same time, like the PS5 still basically drastically reduces loading time on
mm,
just about every game you play on it. And then like you still have a select few that are not locked at like the standard frame rate and they can take advantage of the hardware. So like you
okay.
have that along with it. And for the most part, it's been a pretty fun experience. I started playing Marvel's Avengers on it, and it plays really well on there compared to how PS4. Like you could tell there's a difference.
Hmm.
So because they have like I think both consoles have it, but they essentially have a performance mode which prioritizes frame rate, and then they got like a resolution mode that prioritizes the 4K or
Nice.
whatever. So I mean,
So you get
obviously, it's like a
smooth
yeah,
brightness, vibrance. Yes.
right. So like it's a trade off with both, but personally, I prefer the performance because 60 frames. Why not? So and so like I like being able to play the games like that. So far, I haven't been able to touch like the actual next gen games just yet because I've been holding off. I do own Miles Morales and Demon Souls. I'm going to stream those at some point. Um, Miles Morales, I held off on because, like the first Spider-Man game, they had a prequel novel to that you technically had to read before it. So, like, it
What?
has like but I read it. It's actually really good books for the most part. Both of them are. So, yeah. For those that don't know, the first Marvel Spider-Man uh has a book that takes place before the game called Hostile Takeover. Is basically chronicling like the whole like they eventually lead up to taking down Kingpin at the beginning of the game, if you remember. So, which actually was pretty good. And obviously, the Miles Morales one is just like a self-contained story, just taking place before the game starts. So either way or whatever, I had fun with it. I'm ready to play the game. So, other than that, though, the only thing I will say, the only drawback, a little bit, of course, everybody's been talking about it, was the uh, the storage limitation right now.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, because of COVID and whatnot, I'm sure there was a lot of stuff that they probably weren't able to kind of get a handle on, but for the most part, functionality was there and it was functional enough for them to put on the market. So right now, you only get about 667 usable onboard storage that is you can use for both PS5 and PS4. But if you have any external stuff, that only works for PS4. Like you cannot run PS5 games off of external storage because of how the requirements they need for those games to run. Can't run those on external storage. So that's like the only really drawback. And of course, moving your stuff over from PS4 to PS5 is a bit tedious. Uh, like anytime you migrate over, it's a tedious process. But
But that's new though, right? Because
mhm.
backwards compatibility is not something that PlayStation was known for. That's more of an Xbox thing.
It
So it's
it
kind of
wasn't,
seamless. So
granted they tried it with PS3, but obviously I guess like I know like a lot of what the issues were with the PS3 was because I guess like the architecture was just so different and like the emulation just did not function right with it or
Yeah.
whatever. So, and it was just like, okay, like we're just gonna focus on just making the new games, and that's why we got PS now. So if you want to play old games, hey, $10 a month, you can play
right.
stuff on there if you want to, or if you still got your PS3, you can still play your PS1 games at least. So it's but the fact that they were able to prioritize PS4 backwards compatibility, that was definitely a plus. Every PS4 game that I have runs on it, runs really well, and yeah, man, like I'm definitely having a lot of fun with it. Obviously with both, the only other thing I know that I heard about the Series X, and I've been keeping my ear keeping my ear to the ground, see what's going on the other side of the pond. So um but I know a lot of people have been saying that, like, obviously switching between games has been really seamless. It runs quiet. I think in comparison it probably runs quieter than PS5,
hmm
which isn't like a bad thing, but my thing, as long as they function, I don't care, as long as it's not
Right.
like super super loud.
Right.
So besides that, as far as like any bad things that's been going on, I know both of them have been having software, well, storage glitches rather. uh Thankfully they haven't been widespread, because I haven't experienced anything that people said that they've been having with their PS5, saying that like it was like a storage bug that was kind of like bricking the system or whatever the case may be. And I think the series consoles was doing that too. But I know they released the update, I think a week after it came out, which I think fixed a lot of those performance issues. So it's been running with no problems now. So whatever issues has been going on, they're not widespread from what I've seen. And um also, the Xbox Series X is not smoking, people.
No, that is a vape. Somebody, for some stupid ass reason, did a vape thing and put it in the Xbox to make it seem like it was smoking. I don't know why people gotta be stupid.
A vape
'Cause
thing.
yes,
Yeah.
so there's a video going around where it literally looks like there's no flame or whatever, but with the amount of smoke that's coming up from the Xbox, you would think the Xbox is on fire internally. And it's just like
Wow.
a whole lot of smoke coming out. It turned out that that was somebody made that, and it was like a vape. They did like a vape thing and put it inside the Xbox, and it like there's
Mm.
smoke coming out because they tried to
Oh.
make it seem like it
Yeah.
was
They just,
overheating or something,
from
and
what
it
I've
didn't.
seen, they said that they just set it up behind it,
Oh,
because
behind it.
the
Okay.
way because the way when you sit it upward, like it basically intakes from the bottom and blows out the top.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like the way they set it up, like they just had like the vape smoke blowing through it. And of course, it started going around saying like, "Oh, dude, my
Thing is
Xbox
on.
Series,
Yeah. It
is
blows. It
blowing up."
messed
And I'm
up
thinking
first
like,
thing. Yeah.
you know what? If something is burning like that, the smoke will probably be a little darker than that, not
It
pure
might blow
white.
up.
So,
You might want to get away from that.
and if
Like
and
there's a
that
lot of it's a lot of smoke. You might want to back up while you standing there
you
To
might
recording.
want
quote,
to try unplugging it out the wall too. Like,
to quote, to quote the Vision, "What good can come of this lie?"
Right. Exactly. Exactly. And it's like, why do you want to be that guy that does that? You know what I'm saying? Like Xbox even had to put it like on their, I think it was on their Twitter and their Instagram. Please don't put anything vape, behind or around the system. Like, please don't do that. Like, they actually had to put that out there because that video was surfacing and it tried to make it seem like the Xboxes was overheating and it didn't.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like people have been talking more about the PS5 than the Xbox or whatever. So I don't know. Maybe like your boy had to put some flair to it and try to give it some popularity. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But yeah,
I
PS5
guess.
till I die.
I mean, I guess like it's just a situation where it's just like, I think that, I mean, obviously series has been kind of taking a bit of like a PR hit in one way or another because of Halo, really. But I think like as far as the machine performing itself or whatever, like there hasn't been any major
Mm-mm.
issues at
Mm-mm.
all. Same with PS5. There haven't been any like really like major issues aside from the ones that I mentioned. And once again, they're not widespread. Just like a majority of owners have been able to play games
Most
with
of
no
their
issue,
games, yeah.
whatever. I think honestly,
Hmm.
right now, the main issue right now are the scalpers. Like that's the main problem.
Yes. So I wanted to
So
mention that too because I read this article the other day where it talked about how the scalpers or the bots, quote unquote, if you will, got a hold of like so many PS5. So there was a lot of people who got disappointed on launch day for PS5 and Xbox because they
oh
were
yeah,
literally getting bought up by these, entities, quote unquote, to the point where shit was getting sold out and people wasn't getting their systems. And then next thing you know, you would see them on eBay or like a private seller on Amazon selling that sucker for like $1,000 or something like that. And they
listen,
got all
listen,
these units. It's
listen to what I
crazy.
tell you. When I tried to pre-order my PS5, it took me 3 hours to do it.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, like it took me 3 hours to do it because I can only assume besides a lot of people trying to pre-order at the same time, it was
Mhm.
probably the same thing where a lot of bots were buying them up. Because
Mhm.
what will happen, and I've seen it happen to other people too, they will add it to their cart. Sometimes it'll go to the cart and then it gets stuck in the cart and you can't even get to the checkout. If you guys
Mhm.
somehow got to the checkout, then you couldn't get to the payout option. And it's just like, and it was just like the only way I was able to get it because one of my good friends, Keenan over at Culture Junkies, he managed to get one. He told me to just like because we were doing it on Best Buy. He said, "Look, just spam the PayPal button." Eventually, mine went through, and I did the same thing. Eventually, mine went through, but it
Three
was a headache.
hours?
It
That
was
is
a headache,
crazy.
and honestly, most of that blame is on Walmart because they were just like the hell
Yep.
with it. Let's just
Yep.
pre-order it now, and
Yep.
that unfortunately created a domino effect because now
Yep.
everybody had to open pre-order. So it's like,
And they did the pre-order before they were even supposed to do a pre-order, and then they had to email people and contact people and let them know that they pre-order wasn't real because they weren't
man,
supposed to do it. And like Walmart
oh,
did cause like a huge ass panic because they did it
yeah.
before they were
Did,
supposed
oh,
to.
did you hear the news recently that supposedly like delivery drivers are stealing people's PS5s?
What?
Oh yeah, like apparently
They're like, we're
there
gonna make
have
a
been
come up
Amazon
on one way or another. Okay.
it's
Jesus Christ,
crazy to
bro.
me. It's literally crazy to me because it's
I thought
Amazon.
that I thought that was against their code of honor, and that Jeff Bezos, the giant dragon man that he is, would threaten to burn down their houses if that happened.
Dude, it's crazy. Like
So you
people
gotta
like
figure
people have
Amazon ain't
been
really paying their people. So
people have like literally been reporting that either drivers have been delivering boxes and it doesn't have a PS5
with
in
no
it and
system,
something
so
else.
it's like
What?
Like no, it'd be something else entirely. Like they put something else
oh,
entirely in there. It's
wow.
either that or they pull up near to where they're supposed to deliver it, sit there for like a couple minutes and say it was delivered and then drive
And
off.
then drive off.
Mm,
And it's just
Oh,
like
mm.
and it's like
Savage, boy.
and it's crazy. It's like people say that like they've been reporting it happening like here and over in the UK, and it's crazy.
and you know what's crazy is because like especially if you order from Amazon, if you don't get that shit delivered, like Amazon got to give you something. They either got to give you your money
Oh, for
back or they got to
sure.
produce another system. Like you just can't have nothing. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And but it does make you wonder what are they doing to those drivers?
Dude,
Like, because it's not like Amazon is
they
gonna send
gotta
a
do
rep to
something
somebody's
because
house.
it's like, dude, it's like, look, as consumers with this, we know where you are.
Yeah,
It's like,
it's
it's
tracking.
like,
Tracking is
it's like
real. Real life
literally, it's
tracking
like
is
the quote,
real. Yes.
it's like the quote Cat Williams record. It's like, dude, don't you know I can see you? Like,
but it's like Amazon. It's not like Amazon's gonna send a person to that employee's house and check and see if you got it. So it's like what do you do? Because
I
like
mean,
if if the
they
if the
got to do
consumer
something
says
that the
they didn't
person
get it, because
they got to
if
do.
the buyer says they didn't get it, but if you like drill the driver and like no, I dropped it off, I left it here and whatever. Like what do you do?
I mean, look, the thing is that like
That's crazy talk. I didn't
the
hear
thing
that.
is in a lot of cases, the thing is that like a lot of that could still fall back on the drive because you got to remember a lot of people have cameras set up around their house.
Yep.
So
And in
if
some delivery, depending on who you get, Amazon is supposed to take a picture. But if they're taking it out and putting something different in the box, then they're just taking a picture like, oh, yep, here's the PS5. I put it on the door. But then when they open the box, it's like a cereal box or some granola bars or something. That's
right,
crazy.
it's
That's
it's nuts, man.
crazy.
It is. It
That
really
is
really is,
crazy.
and it's like I don't know. Like this generation has been really interesting though.
That's
Agreed.
crazy.
Just so far, it's been very interesting so far. I'm kind of looking forward to see where it goes from here. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
everybody, of course, everybody's still waiting on Cyberpunk next month.
Yep,
Mm-hmm.
So,
yep. That's me right now.
Mm-hmm. I got
so
trust issues, but I'm a
That's me
believer.
right
I'm
now.
gonna try to believe. I got trust issues. I've been wrong by first launches before. We already talked about previously about like Anthem and some other games where
yeah,
they came out on launch day and they like really suck. So I have some. I know it's a completely different studio. I got a little bit of trust issues, but I'm holding on to hope that Cyberpunk is as dope as it's supposed to be.
I mean,
I mean,
I
So
actually like the fact that like the developers, you know what I'm saying, are pushing the date back to be like, hey, we have more things to fix. Like they're taking their time with the game, and they're polishing it and really, putting all of their attention and resources to making it, um, you know what I'm saying, like a product of quality. So
hmm
yeah,
like for me, I don't mind waiting. I'm a patient person. I don't mind waiting. Like it doesn't matter to me. I would rather get a great game 3 months late than get a trash gaming experience. You know what I'm saying? Like during the summer, it's like you know what I mean. So
yeah.
and see,
Most
I'll
and there's
forgive him on that.
and there's a part of me that's like because PlayStation might Sony might do it a little differently, but I know like with Xbox, if the game like what I think what happened with Anthem when Anthem was like super jacking up and it was literally shutting people's systems down because the glitches were so terrible. Sony was giving money back. Like if you bought it digitally download, Sony was giving you your money back if it was
I'm
shutting
okay.
your system off. Microsoft was like, hi,
Well,
hi,
I know
sorry,
Sony. I
just
know Sony was
unplugging.
doing that with like WWE 2K20.
I thought they were doing that with. I thought I read that they
I
did
don't
that. I
know if
could
it
be
was
wrong, but
Anthem,
I
but it
thought
was
they
it was
did.
2K20. It was WWE
Okay,
2K20. It was doing that too,
I know
doing that to
Microsoft
people.
was like, just unplug your shit and plug it back in. Maybe the glitch. So like Microsoft, Microsoft was not giving you your money back. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it, and in an era where we're moving more towards everybody, getting stuff digitally versus going into a store and buying physical copies. If some of these games are coming out and they're like, not saying Cyberpunk will have this problem, but if we're getting like major glitches in some of these games, something's got to happen somewhere where somebody's going to have to reinvent us something for these digital copies because we're losing
Oh,
money
for
on
sure.
games that we can't play. You
Right.
know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So, and if we're getting it through the PlayStation Store or the Xbox Store or something, somebody needs to be given needs to come up with some kind of a plan on what happens if people are getting these games, like they're pre-ordering or getting these games on launch, downloading them, and then it turns out that these games are having super major glitches where they're affecting systems. Somebody needs to do something because there's a part of me that wants to go get a physical copy just because I have trust issues. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I
and I don't want to
Yeah,
mean,
I
do a
can't
physical
blame you.
copy,
I
but
can speak to that because I'm team physical myself, so like I
okay.
can definitely speak to that. So, because I mean, I only ever. It's not to say that like I'm totally against digital. I get digital like if it's like a really good sale.
Hmm.
When it's like and PSN and Xbox Live usually have like really really good like sales like shit every month really. So it's definitely like one of those things where you just kind of have to be careful with like and again I think we're in a time now where developers are really starting to listen to people now, and since they pretty much have been ignoring people for probably like the past 7-8 years, I want to say.
Hmm.
Because the thing is that one of the reasons why is because, and I guess we're circling right back around to EA, because EA has been getting in a lot of hot water the past year with they most recent release games, like especially with the sports games, because I think
Because their games
uh
suck.
yeah,
They
because
suck.
it's not only that, it's like a couple of countries have been filing lawsuits against them or whatever because they started like adding because of those the loot box shit in their games or whatever because it's like getting to the point where it's like now it's starting to become, it's basically unregulated like unregulated
Transactions.
gambling
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
stuff or
Yeah.
whatever. And it's
Yeah.
like a lot of countries is buckling down, and of course, like EA wants to call them surprise mechanics, but we know how that is.
Yeah.
But they've been taking hits. They also been getting criticisms or whatever. Where I know UFC was one of them, and I think uh NBA 2K got criticism too. It was like because they've been putting in unskippable ads like in the game.
What?
Oh wow.
Oh
Yeah.
hell no.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like, and
Oh.
this was something that was not available like when the game first dropped. This is stuff that they add like months later. So it's
Yeah,
like,
like we gonna make that money.
Yeah, it
Okay.
would
and it's
cause me
like,
not to play a game anymore.
Yep.
Honestly, it would.
I agree.
trust me, a
I
lot of
straight
people
up,
were upset about it. Now,
straight up.
granted, like you
If we
still
in the
got your
middle of a game
loyalists that
or
is.
we in a timeout or something and a real live ad pops across my game, all this got to go. That's it.
Yep,
I'm not playing
it's
this
Oh,
a
for
game.
wrap.
sure.
Just real quick note. Has anyone you guys played Ghost of Tsushima or
That's
no?
on my to-do list. I was waiting on my
Oh,
PS5 before I played it.
I don't have a PlayStation, so I
oh.
can't
I,
play it. I'm
No,
an
I just
Xbox
was
owner.
curious. I got a chance to play, and it is Tenchu Stealth Assassins all over
I
again.
remember, I remember Tenchu Stealth
I,
Assassins.
I
I
Just
remember how
that
saying.
The
frustrating it
memories.
was.
The memories.
Wait, say what?
I remember how frustrating but fun Tenchu Stealth Assassins was.
so
Tenchu was
fun
so
but so
fun.
frustrating.
So fun.
Goddamn Onikage.
Is
Every
Tenchu?
if you know that name, you understand the
Yes.
struggle.
It's a
Oh
beautiful
yeah.
game, though. Just to put it out, it is beautiful.
Oh, for sure, for
Okay.
sure. I know it
But
is.
it's Tenchu.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
See,
Oh, so
you know what's funny? I thought about that
so
for
that means we want to
Sekiro
be
when it first
throwing
came
my
out, but it's not.
Whoa.
well, there's a lot too many people talking at the same time.
Sorry.
Toku, what you say? Toku, what you say?
so does that mean I want to throw my controller at the screen at some point?
No. It definitely has a different game mechanic than Tenchu does. I'm just saying, like the concept of the game
Mhm.
is the same. It's the same exact concept of Tenchu Stealth Assassins, but it's definitely a different game with a lot of like samurai, ancient samurai, based, what I'm saying, mythology and things like that. So it's a really good game, you know what I'm saying. But just me playing it, I was like, oh, I remember doing this. I recall this. Oh, this is Tenchu. So yeah.
Well, as long as it doesn't make you want to be a crackhead like Sekiro did to me, then I may have
Uh,
to think about getting a PS5 because I can't I can't even talk about that game because I'm getting a migraine just thinking about playing Sekiro.
Sekiro stressed you out, did it?
Oh my god. And I ain't even finished it, bro. I ain't even finished it, Fallen Marvel. Do you understand me? It's
Hey,
I can't
if
even talk about it. Like my
if you
blood pressure's going up just thinking
if
about
it
it.
makes you feel any better, I'll be playing Demon Souls soon, and I have not
Oh,
ever played any type of game like it. I only know it by reputation.
oh my
So
god.
so
There are games that come along where I've been playing video games since I was a kid. You know what I'm saying? And I done went through multiple systems. There are games, you think you got it, and then you get to that game that just lets you know that you ain't shit. All your years of gaming experience don't amount to shit. And that's
mhm,
Sekiro. That is Sekiro, my friend.
yeah.
So if Ghost of Tsushima is better, I may get a PlayStation just because I need an easier samurai game and that shit that happened. So
Most definitely, like
trauma. It's
from
nothing
what
but
I can
trauma,
tell,
Cassio. It is trauma for
oh,
me. I'm telling you.
yes, from
Trauma.
what I can tell, it's a much more manageable game. It's
Oh my
not going to
god.
make you pull
Yeah.
your hair out.
And it's crazy because like my oldest brother is going through Sekiro like like it's just the easiest game out there. And I'm listening to him about all these things he's doing, and I'm like, he was like, so you ain't go down that one thing? I said, hell no. I said, listen, I heard some heavy steps, and my controller started shaking. I was like, oh shit, I ain't going to the left. Let me go ahead and hit these rooftops because I don't feel like fighting whatever it is to the left. And my brother's just going through here, and he's
wait,
telling me all these things you gotta do, and I'm like, how the shit did you get past
You,
I said,
look, you're gonna have to go to the left. You're gonna have to go to the left, to the left. Everything you want in this game to the left. Like,
Listen, I'm gonna hit these rooftops, take out these ninjas, get to the samurai on the
you better
second
go to the
floor,
left,
because
boy.
I'm trying to get done with this
Far
game. Because
left.
fuck this shit. Okay, so Microsoft has this thing where you can actually, and Sony might have it, I don't know, but I know on Xbox they have this thing where you can actually leave a review of the game on the system. So like when people are searching for the game, they'll see your comment. Like when you leave an Amazon review for an item on you get on Amazon, you can do
Hmm.
that on Xbox. Listen,
Oh,
Okay, that's cool.
my comment for Sephiroth is whoever made this game where I can't adjust the gameplay settings can kiss my black. I had to do I had to do A slash slash because I can't put as on it. And I gave it, I mean, I gave it 4 stars because it's digitally is beautiful, but it's hard as fuck. And I don't like it. I don't want it.
It's
I
I
don't
a
want it.
understand that.
it's
Not a fan. So really quick, just talking about another quick thing that I read about for PlayStation is I read that they're going to try to do something similar to what Microsoft has in Game Pass.
mhm.
They're going to try to do like a service that you basically sign up for. So like with Game Pass, I have Game Pass Ultimate. It's only like 14, 15 a month, which is way cheaper than what. Well, I don't want to say it's way cheaper because the annual membership, the gold membership, I think I was only paying like 50, 60 a year. But it's
For the
14,
regular
15
gold.
for yeah, for the regular gold
Yeah, yeah,
membership.
it was like 60
Um
bucks. Yeah,
yeah, so Game Pass Elite is $15 a month and you basically get access to like a whole lot of games and not I mean and games even as we all know Microsoft is really good at backwards compatibility, so you're even getting games on like 360, you know what I'm saying, and some games even older like on the first Xbox if you can find those kind of games. And so I
right.
read that PlayStation is trying to do something similar because to be honest, in my opinion, and especially as following Marvel with somebody who has PC, Game Pass, in my opinion, is a winner. It's a winning idea for Microsoft.
As a
And
service, yeah. As
yeah,
a
the
service, I
service,
agree.
the service, yeah, it's a winning idea as far as service. And it seems like Sony kind of saw that, and now they're trying to come up with their own version. I don't know if it's going to get launched like next year. I'm not sure, but I did read that they're trying to do something similar to that.
Right.
So
And I think it's something that they're trying to sort of probably polish because I mean, again, they've had PlayStation Now, which is equivalent to their Game Pass or whatever. In one way, it's just not bundled with the online service like, with the uh how Xbox Live and
yeah,
Game Pass are like
yeah,
bundled together.
yeah,
So I'm assuming this is something that they're probably going to attempt to do because even with currently what Sony is doing with PlayStation Plus right now, I think is they definitely have followed suit because I think one of the PS5 launch games that they talk about, it was like I don't know how to compare this game. Like I think like that it's this game that they show called Bug Snacks, which I think is supposed to be more kind of like a the only thing I could compare it to is Animal Crossing in a way. Like it's the only thing I
okay,
could think of.
okay.
But that was another like PS5 launch title that they had or whatever, and that was free for Plus users on launch.
Uh,
So
So they're
and
trying to test the
and
waters. It seems.
right, and then on top of that, of course, they put out that deal that if you are a Plus member, that you get access to like one of like their one of the biggest you get access to the biggest first party titles from last gen. So it's like
Mm-hmm.
Horizon, Uncharted, Arkham, and several other games or whatever. I think Detroit Becoming Human is one of them, whatever. Like all that you have automatic access to if you're a Plus member once you
Mm-hmm.
go over to PS5. So they are definitely listening. They are
Mm-hmm.
definitely listening and paying attention and trying to find a way to make that work
Work for
because
them. Mm-hmm.
and I think it's looking good for on both sides right now. Like I think like
Mm-hmm.
it's just looking good on both sides right now. Game Pass is doing really well
Mm-hmm.
as far as the service goes, and then of course them adding EA titles on that or whatever
Mm-hmm.
was a big plus. Which I mean I'm assuming EA needed the help in some kind of way or whatever. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and Microsoft apparently made that happen. So
Mm-hmm.
um,
Oh,
but it's I don't know, it's just looking good. It's just looking good on both sides, man.
I
Like I
agree.
just You
I
know,
agree.
I'm
I
just looking
am
forward to see what the next month, the next few months show us.
just and I mean, and both consoles launched really strong. I mean, despite the bots out there snatching stuff and some of the retailers jacking stuff up.
Right.
Honestly, Microsoft avoided like what happened with the Xbox One and kind of a lot of those shipping delays that they had and the console having to be pushed back, which honestly made them lose at that point in time when I think when they were really focused on the console war. This time,
Hmm.
I think both of them have different goals. So I don't even think it's a console war for the most. I mean, it might still be, but they also have different goals. I think, and Microsoft didn't have that happen to them this time, so they're actually doing really well. And Sony is doing really well too. So I
Yeah.
do want to get. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't want a next gen yet because I just got a damn X. You know what I'm saying? Like last year, and you know what I'm
Uh-huh.
saying? And I'm like,
Already
shit.
obsolete. You already
Yeah, it's
behind
like it's
schedule.
already
Uh-huh.
fucking obsolete, Casio. It's already
Might as well.
slow. Like I'm listening to Kyle talk about how he just put a game in a boat, like he playing it, and I'm like, shit, I still gotta wait for that whole to load and get to 50% before I can play it. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Mm-mm.
like
Yeah.
it's already obsolete. So there's a part of me that's trying to decide if I want to get a next gen. I might, but I'm definitely not gonna get it this year. If I get it, it'll be next year.
Yeah.
And then
I would say that if you definitely get it, and at the very least you can get like either. I mean, you can still probably get it like cheaper somewhere else, but if you get it, I definitely recommend getting Plus along with it because like you already get like a whole library of stuff like on day one.
mhm.
That's pretty cool. Could you
So
name the titles again that you said that
hey,
PlayStation would give you if you PS Plus number?
all right, I'm going to list them off now. Give me a
And then we
second.
got one more subject we got to talk about. So let's do like 2 more minutes, and then let's hit the last one.
Cool.
Okay.
And why you listen? Also, so how was the storage? Also, I hear that the PS5 is like a mini fridge. It's just
I mean, it's a tall drink of water. It's a tall drink of water. So
Yo, them pictures of people's consoles like on the entertainment centers, I'm like, damn, it's like a
yeah,
mini TV.
it's
Like
15 it's
this big.
15 and a half inches tall. So
My goodness.
it's a tall console. So again, if you're planning on getting one, I suggest maybe
Had
you
a
make
room
some
for it.
room.
I just
Had
buy
a room
a
for it.
whole new like
What
TV
what what
stand
what he
completely.
meant
Right.
to say is if the Amazon driver drops it off, make some room for it. That's
At
what he
this
was trying
point,
to
I just
say.
rather wait to the stores have them in stock and just go and
Right,
pick
and
them
I
up
go pick it up
at this
because you're
point.
not gonna
So
get me for a brand new. So basically, Casio, people coming home like, baby, I got one. Trying to tell their kids, I got a PS5. I ain't paid for it though. How you
right,
pay for it?
it's
Oh, it was a gift.
ridiculous.
My company had
Right.
a drawing, and I won
So
the drawing. Mhm.
okay, so I got the list in front of me. So basically, if you get a PS5 and you get Plus, basically you have automatic access to Batman Arkham Knight, Battlefield 1, Bloodborne, Call of Duty's Black Ops 3, Zombie Chronicles, Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy, Days Gone, Detroit Become Human, Fallout 4, Final Fantasy 15, God of War, Infamous Second Son, The Last Guardian, The Last of Us Remastered, Monster Hunter World, Mortal Kombat X, Persona 5, Ratchet and Clank, Resident Evil 7, Uncharted 4, and Until Dawn.
Holy booty sandwiches! Got
Now,
I
now,
ain't realize
just
it
so
was like that.
now, just so you know, I'm gonna say this because obviously I'm the Microsoft person. Just so you know, Game Pass has like triple, quadruple the amount of games that he named because it's all a part of the
Well, no,
subscription.
like they have like a whole like old like the a lot of all like the old games and stuff
Yeah, no,
on it.
but
So
they
like
they
that's
have they have Game Pass has new releases on it though too. So I just want to
yeah,
throw
yeah,
that out there. That is
yeah.
that you get a lot of like if you have the service, the Game Pass service, you get like the entire library of stuff that's available.
Right.
So I just had to
Right.
throw that in for comparison.
And we do, but I mean obviously it's different goals here. Obviously they're
Yeah,
focusing
yeah,
more on
yeah, yeah,
Sony's obviously focused on the more recent stuff
yeah.
and obviously Xbox they're focused on the
Game
games of
Pass
old.
has a little bit of
So
both. Yeah, yeah. Because you get new stuff on there too. You do get a lot of stuff that released, but you get a lot of new releases on Xbox too.
yeah.
So on Game
And
Pass
it's
too.
like I
So
said, Sony's trying to do that too because it's a couple of new games that they're dropping on there. And I think one of the games I think that got delayed that they're going to put on Plus in February, I think was that All Star Destruction game. It was like a, I don't know, it's kind of like a whimsical, like only way I could put it is like a whimsical twisted metal. It looks like,
Okay.
but it got delayed, and like apparently when it drops in February, it'll be free for Plus members.
All right, so with that, because we could talk about this earlier, but with that, we got to get our last subject in because the fabulous Toku Terry has been waiting to talk about our final subject tonight, which is Black people in Japanese media, which I am interested to hear about this because besides like a couple of shows and some crazy looking anime depictions, I have to admit, I don't really know too much about it. So, Toku Terry, take it away.
Okay, well, obvious. Well, that's the thing. In anime and manga's early days, a lot of black people, a lot of black people were represented by what can only be described as late Disney esque caricature depictions. Like, have you ever seen Cyborg 008's original depiction?
No, I can't say I have.
Type in Cyborg 008 original.
Ooh.
Yeah, he didn't know any better. So we're going to give him a pass. So, because if you'll keep looking, you'll see that after as time went on, and as his American friend and as Shotaro Ishinomori, his American friends told him, "Hey, that's not okay. You should change that." He was like, "Oh, I didn't know. Let me change it." And that's how we got the depiction we know now, where he has the silver hair, and he doesn't look so stereotypical. Yeah, but yeah, in the 60s and early 70s, a lot of black people looked like that in manga, and then in 1975, we got my boy Go Nagai, who created the one of the best depictions of a black woman in anime to this day in June Hono. Now you guys can argue, wait, she's not black because she's half Japanese. To which I say, does she have black skin? Does she deal with racism in Japan? Does she self-identify as a black woman? If yes, shut up. Anyway, so after June Hono's depiction in Great Mazinger, they made sure a lot more manga made sure to make their black characters look better. Compare Bryos' human form from Appleseed Machina. Not the reboot, because the reboot turned into a Japanese man, because for some stupid reason. I still gotta fight the reboot on that one. But yeah, in the original one, Bryos is a black man who was raised in the Mediterranean. African parents raised in the Mediterranean. And if you see his original depiction from before he became Borg, he's really obviously black, and there's no denying it. And compare that and how positive his view and reception is to someone like Mick Kong from Otojuko. Also, if you're black, don't read Otojuko. It is a trash manga written by a guy who still had problems with Japan taking an L in World War II. Don't read it. Yeah, but then even as there were more and more black people in anime, there wasn't a lot of black people in live action Japanese shows, but that's been changing recently. For example, in Lupin Ranger versus Patch Ranger, which is I think the 2016 Super Sentai. Yeah, Lupin Ranger versus Patrol Ranger. Oh no, it was 2018. Wow, I was way off. But yeah, one of the main characters of the Patrol Rangers, who are the cops, one of their main characters, their boss actually, is a black guy played by what is this? He was the boss. He was their boss.
Commander Hilltop.
Yes, Commander Hilltop. That was it.
Oh
Yeah.
wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, they didn't know about the name, but he's played by an American comedian.
Huh.
Yeah,
I'm
and
looking
as you
at
can,
this right now. It's fairly interesting.
right?
Wow.
Oh, let me tell you the name of the American. Yeah, his character's name is Commander Samuel Hilltop. He's played by the an American comedian named. Come on.
Ike, is it Ike or Ike?
It might be Ike Noala, but they see. They never say it out loud. So, and he's in the show they never say his name out loud.
Well,
So
they do say he is
no,
African
Nigerian
American. He is
American.
Nigerian.
He's Nigerian American, but he lives in Tokyo, Japan.
Cool.
So it might be either. Let's say Ike. I'm just gonna say Ike because
We'll
it
say
makes me
Ike.
feel better at night. But yeah, Ike Nwala is a Nigerian American actor and comedian, and he plays one of the main characters in the 2018 Super Sentai, which is really big because this is one of the first times a person of color has been in Super Sentai or Kamen Rider. The only other major one I can think of is when they had the half Brazilian, half Japanese guy play the reboot of Amazon in Kamen Rider Decade, which fits a lot better if you ask me. Like it always bugged me with the original Amazon because the original Amazon is supposed to be this guy who lived his entire life in the Amazon jungle, but he's like pasty. He's Japanese, but he's like pasty. But the new guy actually looks like he lived in the Amazon jungle all his life. I feel bad about not knowing their names off the top of my head, but it is what it is.
All right. I mean, you kind of have to just take what is it? Just sort of just take it at face value. Just
yeah, and it's so much better than back in the 70s when brother, I want to say when Battle Fever came out and the guy who's for Battle Fever Kenya was a Japanese guy. And I'm like, listen, there are white people in Kenya and there are probably Asian people in Kenya. But no show. I believe this less than I believe that obviously Japanese woman is representing Miss America. But yeah, I will give Japan credit. They're slow on the uptake, but they are starting to change. They're working hard to change how they depict black people. Except Torian, except Torian, who's just like, no, you know what? I draw people like this. I draw black people like this. I'm just going to keep doing it.
Yeah, he kind of still did.
Like you can't even say, oh, it was a different time then. Like you can't even argue, oh, it was a different time because sure, you can make that excuse for when he was drawing them like that in Dragon Ball, but it was 1997 during the Boo saga and he was still drawing black people like that. What's the excuse?
Like I think by then they'd already like edited like the Tom and Jerry cartoons in '98.
So yeah, like for those of you who are black and want to know some really good African American characters, June Hono is basically perfect.
Nice.
She is an African American motorcyclist, mech pilot, soldier, and fighter pilot.
Wow.
Black excellence. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
Multifaceted. That's how we do.
That's dope though. Like just looking at this, because it's like I've been meaning to get into like some older like manga and anime and stuff, whatever. And I think like I kind of briefly glanced over like Mazinger back in the day, but like I've never sat down and watched it. So
here's the trick. Here's the trick.
Yeah.
Here's what you do. You watch Mazinger Z, and then you watch Great Mazinger, which introduces Jun Hono. And then you're going to have a choice. You can either watch UFO Robo Grendizer, which came out right after Great Mazinger, which is supposed to be part of the same series, but it makes no sense if you think about it for more than 10 seconds. Or you can watch the early 2000s Mazen Kaiser. Watch Mazen Kaiser. I'm not going to tell you what to do. Watch Mazen Kaiser. I'm just going to give you your choices and have you make your own decision. Watch Mazen Kaiser.
Thank you for that.
It is fairly noted, sir.
Mazen Kaiser.
Definitely gonna watch that. Like speaking of which, like since we're on the subject,
Hey, why not?
I do want to bring up, and I guess we're gonna have this change with what was my man's name that I oh god I can't even. I'm assuming this is a pen name, but I guess it's like Dart. Uh, I can't pronounce his name, whatever. But apparently, it's a black man that owns an anime studio in Japan currently.
Oh,
And that's definitely I can't pronounce the name, so
I
like I
read
don't want
about
to
that.
butcher it. I'm looking it up now, and I think like I see like some upcoming projects that he's doing, and I mean obviously that's something else that's kind of uh just making our presence more felt in Japan instead of it's like oh this must be how black people are, and then we
Yeah,
can
I'm so
talk
pissed off
about
about Mick Kong. Like, I know you have issues with America thanks to World War II, but seriously, not one person on your squad told you how unbelievably freaking racist that was.
I I mean, look, the
I
only
wanted
thing
to
I
buy
will
a.
say,
I wanted.
I will say that between the 50s up until the 70s, I will say that a lot of what they felt about us or whatever was seen through whatever media that came from out here. After that, like then it's just like okay, y'all on your own on that one.
No,
So,
Oto
because I
Juko was
mean, because
made
we got to
in
remember, because I'm just saying, we have to really remember in some way or fashion, like how isolated Japan was for
Mhm.
many, many millennia. So,
That that's true and that's fair.
Yeah, there's actually a thing. A person who actually used to live in Japan actually told me that when they went, and I forgot what year this was, that within the last 10 years, they said that there was actually some people in Japan who thought that black people had tails, or
What?
Whoa,
yeah,
really?
that black people
Something?
had like tailbones. Yeah, I promise. Like
Wow.
black people still like they like we had what I'm saying, like slightly longer tailbones because we used to have tails. This is someone told me that
wow.
that lived in
That's not
Japan.
how that. That's.
I'm
Oh my god!
telling.
If
I'm
you
just
look at that's not even. That's
I'm
not
just
even how human evolution works.
yeah, I'm just
Mm.
I was just telling you guys what a person told me. It was yeah,
I'm
they lived
sorry, I
there
lost my.
as a foreign exchange student.
Okay, okay, I'm sorry, I lost my Zen for a second. I got my Zen back.
All right, continue. Sorry about that.
Oh no, 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 it's fine. I'm almost over. But like, some of the most interesting characters that you will see, like if you want to see the evolution of how Japan understands Black people through the eyes of one single writer, look at Shotaro Ishinomori and Cyborg 009 because 008 goes from stereotypical blackface during the late 60s and early 70s of Cyborg 009 to a more wholesome and less stereotypical appearance in the 80s to the silver haired appearance that we know from the 90s and early 2000s to his current appearance in after Shotaro Ishinomori created the silver haired appearance, and then after his death, more writers continue to improve on that design, and currently the current version of Cyborg 008 from Call of Justice has lost the silver hair, but he looks like just an average black dude, which is actually kind of disappointing because I like the silver hair. It makes him look more unique and stand out.
I mean, I've seen the look. Like he definitely looks very. He sticks out like a sore thumb. He sticks
Yeah.
out as a sore thumb, like in a good way. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, obviously, through the years, characters like have changes and crap or whatever. Some for the better, some worse. So, however,
And some
so
there's another black character who I'm very conflicted about because his story is great, but I can't get past his appearance and name.
oh,
Choco Love from Shaman King.
Choco Love.
Don't
Okay.
I mean, is it a nickname like McLovin
no, that's
or like or Dude Love? No. Okay.
well, and that's why the American dub renamed him Joko.
Okay.
I mean,
I'm not gonna lie, like we get some really strange names in Japan. We do. I mean, like,
Yes,
wait a
yes,
minute.
yes,
Now that I think about it, isn't that damn? I hate that. I don't know why I'm bringing
yes,
this
yes.
up.
I've mentioned Mick Kong. I think I mentioned him a time.
Actually, I was gonna say Bo.
No, I think no. That's the thing. Bobo is not supposed to be black. He's supposed to be a Osakan. Just a tanned Osakan.
Okay, because it's kind of hard to tell the difference. Because obviously the fro like throws
Yeah.
me off every time I see it. So because I didn't know whether or not he was supposed to be black or just supposed to be like a tan Japanese person.
Yeah, he's supposed to be a delinquent, so he's supposed to just be tanned.
It's funny how they like tie in delinquent with being tan.
Well, it's weird because in Japan, a lot of delinquents get these really deep tans
I
because
guess so. Like that is a
I
dude.
don't know why. I don't know the culture. I don't know why. It's just a whole thing.
Japan's culture is just it's it's a marvel on its own. Like more than half the time. Like just
Yeah.
you learn some good, you learn some bad, but it's all interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, did you see the picture of Choco Love?
I could not
That's all one word, by the way.
oh gosh. Okay. All right. I am looking right now, people. Choco Love, Shaman King,
What's the name of the
and
of
and
the
he looks like an African Usopp.
Yeah. Yeah.
oh
Yeah, just looking at him goes. Yeah, his name is Choco Love McDonald.
oh boy. Yeah, me no likey.
Yeah,
I
and
am very conflicted by this. I am very conflicted by this. I I'm just gonna leave this alone because you just kind of have to take it as you will. I know a lot of people love this series, and I mean, I don't know. It's the lips, man. It's the
Yeah,
lips.
definitely.
it's
If
not. It's
if not anything else, if not for it's like that's the only thing. If the it's just the lips. It's the lips.
Yeah, he looks like that that character that Jay Z was rapping in God,
Yeah.
I can't think of the
it's
song.
not just the lips. It's the
OJ.
lips and the nose.
The
Yeah.
song.
Like
Oh, what's the song with OJ? A story of
Yeah,
OJ.
yeah, 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 yeah. That's what it looks like.
for me, it's the lips and that nose.
Yeah.
See,
And-
I could let the nose pass. I could let the nose pass, but it's the lips. The lips is like pure, like caricature. It's pure caricature.
Yeah.
yeah, that's pure oof right there.
Yep.
And like, and the fact that his backstory is he's a former gang member does not help.
It had to be. It just had to be. It just
I, I,
had to
swear,
be.
I
God damn
swear
it.
to I swear to God, his actual story in the show is really beautiful, but Jesus Christ, his appearance and backstory. And I'm
Wow.
like, you have to be doing this on purpose at this point.
I mean, I mean, you. There's no way they can't do it on purpose. I mean, I don't know. Like, I'm looking at this and I'm looking different. I'm looking at different variations of it. It's just like it blurs the line of it definitely blurs the line of offensive and flattery.
Yeah, like he,
It
Yeah.
definitely does.
Like
it
yeah.
yeah,
No, you good.
it feels like when he designed it. It feels like when he designed it, it feels like the exact same thing that Shotaro Ichinimori went through. Like no one told him it was racist until after he was done. But unlike Shotaro Ishinomori, who went back and corrected it, he was just like,
Mhm.
"Well, it's out there now. I'm just going to make him a really good character to make up for it."
I mean, I mean, I don't know. It's like to me, I know my two favorite black characters are been Yoriichi and Tenzin. So Oh no, what was
And
it?
for the
Was it
la and
Tutu?
when we're talking about black characters, for the last time, people, Oob is not black. He's supposed to be Indonesian. Stop claiming him.
I
Let's be
mean,
Indonesian
South. I mean, it's that's not entirely fair. He could be a Negrito.
people. That's fair.
He could be Negrito. Like that's Southeast Asia. It's like we was all up through there.
That's 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 fair. I'm just saying he's supposed like the place he comes from is supposed to be based on Indonesia, and it's right by the place that Toriyama explicitly said was the Dragon Ball's version of Bali.
Right. So
Um,
I mean, but I mean, hey, we can still claim him. I mean, hell, I mean, we have to claiming a whole like 7 foot green alien. I mean, why not? Ooh,
They claim, yeah, for some reason they claim both Saiyans who are space Vikings and Namekians. And I will like I can kind of see the Namekians if you kind of squint at it, but why the Saiyans? Like y'all know the Saiyans were murderous psychopaths before Frieza showed up, right?
well, I mean,
We
in
are
our
not doing a
universe,
Dragon Ball conversation.
We're not doing it. We're not doing it. We're leaving. We're leaving. We're leaving. We're gonna
well,
go.
Yeah.
We don't have enough
the thing
time to
is
talk
that
about
like
Dragon Ball.
there's always been that the conversation is that
That
like the
Piccolo was
Saiyans were
black.
technically an
Hmm.
analogy for black people.
Oh well, yeah, and Panthro Black from Thundercats.
Oh no! That's
So
just
he,
canon.
Panthro's black.
he
Like
Well, that's
Panthro is
well,
Like
black.
that's fact. Like
I don't know what
ain't
you
no
talking about.
he's
disputing that.
he's
Panthro
he's
is
literally
black.
from another planet.
It's
He
his
said,
name is
"Where's
Look,
this?"
Panthro. He got the blackest voice on the show.
the
Panthro is
man,
black. I don't give a shit what you talking about.
okay,
dude,
okay.
Hey,
dude.
but that's what I'm
That's just
saying.
like Jazz,
Cliff
who's the
Huxtable's
Autobot. We know
dad was
Jazz
the
was the
voice of
black
Panther,
robot.
dude. You can't
Jazz
get
was the
blacker than
black
that.
Autobot. You know what I'm
True.
Yeah.
saying? Jazz was the
Okay.
black Autobot. You know what I'm saying?
So,
Like
Black
that's
Mamba,
crazy.
I did say at the beginning that if we had time at the end, I would do the biblical description of angels. Do we have enough time, or are we done?
We do not have enough time. We'll have to. So I want you. So let's save that for our next podcast because
I will
we
save
got
it for
to
the.
sign off here on that one. So bookmark that because it was also something like we do. We didn't talk. We didn't record it. We talked about it a little bit. We did record it, but at some point because we also talked about like we talked about it a little bit before we started recording, but we do eventually are going to have to talk about Zack Snyder and his Flash comment. Now he's got Deathstroke, you know what I'm saying, in it,
Hmm.
and the redo of his terrible Steppenwolf depiction that I think we've all agreed with that this spike super spike metal spike porcupine looking look is terrible. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, like there
Yeah.
were stuff that we talked about that we didn't get to
Hey,
actually, so we can add Toku Terry's thing to the
Mhm.
next one. We can do that to
well,
the
hey,
next
yeah.
Cool.
I
Okay,
mean, they had the
we'll
best
do it then.
analogy. Maybe all that hardware's for making coleslaw.
one.
Whoa! What?
Yes,
I've never heard anybody quote the first Ninja Turtle movie. What? Fallen Marvel, sir, you have
You
my
gonna keep that when
respect.
you edit this. I'm gonna
You
need you
have
to
my
keep that little
respect.
part in there.
Forgiveness is
Okay.
divine, but never pay full price for late pizza.
Damn right.
So we gotta
Holy
go. We gotta
shit.
go around now and do our closing statement. So, Follow Marvel. Let's start with you. You got 2 minutes to do a closeout of everything we talked about today.
All right. So, black folks, we getting a better presence out in Japan, like after, X amount of years or whatever. So cool. Um, PS5, Xbox, lots to look forward to. A lot of the big problems were hoaxes, so just don't be too afraid to get one. And it's all looking good. Um, what else did we talk about? Yeah, Black Lightning. Sad that that's gone. Sad
Mm.
that Supernatural is gone. And it's going to be a lot to miss because I
Mm-hmm.
think that took up quite a bit of our lives
Mm-hmm.
in our lifetime. So like it definitely will be missed. But you guys, appreciate you listening out. You guys can follow me on uh Twitch, YouTube, Facebook. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter, the Fall of Marvel, all one thing. Go nerve responsibly, and I'll see you guys on any of those platforms.
hmm
Okay. Cassio Lawson, your closeout.
Okay. Yeah, no, today, you guys really, we talked about a lot of things. An era ending with Supernatural, and with Black Lightning. With that, Undertaker retiring. We didn't
Oh
discuss that, but
yeah. Yep.
that's still a end of an
Yeah.
Yep.
era. It's still the
Sure
end of an
did.
era. So that's a
Hmm.
big thing. Like Jesus
Hmm.
Christ, I'm just gonna say Undertaker was wrestling since I was a kid. Like I seen this dude when I was 6 years old. God knows.
Yeah.
Sorry, but anyway,
He's legacy for sure. For sure.
I also want to say rest in peace, David Hemblin, the voice actor for Magneto,
Mm-hmm.
passed away
What?
at the age of
Yep.
79. Yeah, he passed
Yep.
away. The voice
Oh
actor for Magneto
wow.
from the original X-Men Fox Kids cartoon.
Yep.
Yeah. So David Hemblin died, and I just want to say rest in peace to David. Um, and yeah, I had a lot of fun today. You know what I'm saying, on the podcast. Once again, thank you guys for having me. And as always, don't believe the hype.
Mhm. And how can they follow you on your
Oh,
platform?
so they can follow me. They can subscribe to my YouTube channel, Casio Logic. Casio Logic on Instagram, on um, YouTube. And I don't have a video that I put up recently, but I'm gonna kind of have all of the podcasts from EJOBN on my YouTube channel as well. So yeah, definitely come check me out and look for a new video coming soon.
Oh,
New video coming soon. I'm gonna be doing a retelling of the Last Ronin. The
dang. We got to talk about that again too. Next chapter's
yeah.
coming out. Hmm.
Yeah. Oh, next chapter they postponed to 2021, so we're not going to see that
Oh,
until
I thought it was
January anyway.
December.
No, they pushed it back
Oh.
until late January, so we might see it late January, early February.
Oh, okay. All right.
That's all
Well,
right.
all right. Okay. And Tokute, you'll close out?
All right. Is once again, it's time to go. So just remember, one, with the Japan, while racist, is more ignorant racism than vehement racism. So they'll try and get better. Two, two, just because a good show ends doesn't mean the world does. There'll be other shows. Three, play video games, have fun. Four, follow me on Twitter at Terrence's Epic. Follow me on follow me on YouTube at Legendary. And don't forget, once again, I have a book, Terrence L. Andrews.
Yay!
Terrence L. Andrews, the 21st Century Guide to Mythology, Brief Myths Retold.
Yes, Black excellence.
Yes,
Thank you.
Sure.
absolutely. And for my 2 cents, boys and girls, if your parents came home with a PS5 and you thought they was broke, it's probably because they took it from somebody else. So
Oh,
I'm gonna need I'm gonna need from my people. I'm gonna need from my people out there to stop stealing other people's systems. Cause these games, I mean, these hoes is like $400, $500, $600. You know what I'm saying? And people work hard for this stuff, and it's just not cool to steal somebody else's system that they work hard for. You know, get your own. I definitely will miss Supernatural. You know what I'm saying? It's been on for half my life, so I want to thank Sam and Dean for basically being a part of my life for 15 years. They're still like my boyfriends, but I'm okay if they want to see other people. It's fine. Um, Other big thing, which we're not really going to talk about, but as everybody knows, Biden's our Biden's our president, even though Trump ain't trying to leave right now. Like he's like
But
he ain't
but he
like
won.
he ain't
Trump,
yeah
but Trump
like
won though.
like he's our president, but he ain't trying to like he ain't gonna sit here and say he lost. He didn't lose. He's just gonna move on. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is he gonna do. So
he better stop getting these recounts for he relose. He gonna lose twice. The only president in
basically,
history
you know
lose
what I'm
two
saying?
times in the
Like
same election.
I feel like he's gonna do one of those like look over there, and while everybody's looking at the recounts, he's just gonna like get out of the White House because at some point he's gonna get tossed out. Biden Harris. Let me know what we talk about with this student loan forgiveness, my people, because I got some student loans that you
I
forgive.
also
You
yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like I'm on board with. I don't know what they gonna do, but I heard it could be anywhere from 10,000 to 30. I'll take 2,000. Take 2,000 off my thing, and I'm happy. So,
Look,
it'll just be nice to get out of the clown circus that has been the Trump presidency. So
Whew.
that is
Um, I'm
The
sorry.
sideshow, the super sideshow that the United States has been
If
for
I
the
may
last.
interrupt, that is very disrespectful to clowns. They're intentionally and they work hard for what they do.
To
They are
bring joy to the
professional
kids,
entertainers.
to the
Okay,
children, to
there is an
bringing.
actual like clown
I'm sorry,
college.
I did not mean to demean the clown people. Okay, I don't know who to compare him to. I just need him to go. Oh, so I'll just say that. I just need him to
I
go.
would say
Um,
Palpatine, but that be insult to Palpatine.
I love having you guys on. As far as me, I obviously am not famous like my co-stars here. I don't have a YouTube show. Okay. I was gonna talk about my OnlyFans, but y'all ain't ready for that yet. So what you can do is you can weave the EJLBN podcast, however, is on Google Podcasts and Spotify. All you got to do is you can search by just simply typing in EJOBN and we'll pop right up and you'll catch all our episodes. New episodes are posted about every week or every other week. And the goal is to obviously get us on iHeart and what is it, Apple Radio? Is that what it's called? iRadio? Is it iRadio? Apple Radio? I don't have an Apple, so I don't know what it's called. Um, but so
Something.
we trying to do world domination out in this piece. You know what I'm saying, and
Is
whatever.
is it Apple
So just
Music?
is it Apple Music? Is that what it's called? I thought it was like a radio. Is it called Apple Music? I'm slow. It might be called
Yeah.
Apple Music. It probably is Apple Music, and the Apple station. The Apple station. That's what we're trying to do. Is the Apple station. So, but again, you can just search by typing in EJOBN, and our podcast will pop right up. You can hear all of our previous episodes, and this episode should be posted on those sites in a couple of days. So, like I said, we're trying to take over the world. That's the plan. So I appreciate Toku Terry, Cassio Logic, the Fallen Marvel for hanging out with me today. I didn't force them. They did it of their own free will, just in case anybody is wondering. So I appreciate y'all, but
I did not fall for any bait.
and now it's time to say goodbye to all our Negro friends. So we appreciate y'all. Have a good night. Stay warm, stay safe, because COVID is still real. And we're in like third wave number 4, I think. So please stay healthy and stay safe. And we'll see you guys on our next show. All right.
Later.
All right. Thank
Yeah.
you.